My inventory's getting packed full of remnants and old zigzag packs and all that kind of crap going on. So it's 4:27 in my time. I haven't smoked any weed yet today. Have not smoked any weed yet today. So, shitty light there. A little bit of grapple cat. Twist up, get going. Um, yeah, bit of a weird one. Bit of a strange day today. So, me and well, I slept most of the day. Well, actually, no, I spent more of the day driving than I did sleeping. I guess we took my kid to Calgary, Alberta yesterday to go see a Corn concert, Corn and Gojira. So I woke up at about 2:30 yesterday morning, and and do the coffee and finish getting the car ready and all that shit. And we leave at about, I think it was about 3:30 a.m. yesterday, and we drive to Calgary, the Saddle Dome where the Calgary Flames play, the NFL, the NHL team, hockey team. And we've never been there. I am a venue connoisseur, I guess you could say. That's one of my favorite things, other than the obvious of going to see live music. I really like checking out new venues and stuff like that. And I gotta say, Saddle Dome, it's a great venue. It might be my favorite arena venue, actually. And we had piss poor seats, which I'll get to that in a minute. Um, it's cool. Yeah, access, egress, all that shit, real fucking easy. Lots of parking, reasonably priced parking at that. Which this is all stuff that you got to consider when you got to do a road trip. Because we don't have cool shit happens near us, man. 100 mile, fuck, it sucks. Cheers, Sniff. I hope you're doing well, man. It's been a hot minute since I've spoken to you at all. Hope work's treating you well and being good to you, dude. Seems like every time I do talk to you, everything is going well on that front. So hopefully all that tradition continues. Oh shit. There we go. My old lady. I love that woman to death. She's got the habit of not putting the grinder back together, which is just everybody has their own ways of doing stuff, and there's no wrong or right to it, really, right? It's just personal preference. It certainly didn't harm anything, but I go to grab it and the top comes off. So, okay, let's go fishing for that back part. It's one of those things that you notice over time. So where is it going? Yeah, so we I think took us about 10 and a half hours to get to Calgary because we got stops, right? Hanging out, traveling with an 11-year-old who gets car sick, by the way. And furthermore, the last couple times we've done Calgary-ish kind of trips, she's gotten car sick after being stuck in the car for about, say, 5-6 hours without stopping, somewhere in around there. And so one thing was kind of starting to pay a little bit more attention to because the last time was horrendous. She threw up all over the car, and the last hour and a half or so home was just like driving with your head out the window like Ace Ventura. And there ain't nothing wrong with the windshield. It's just stunk. Like, oh my god. So we're stopping to. So anyways, we get there about 10 hours early, hang out in Calgary and all that. It's a great time. We've never been that far into Calgary, I don't think. Usually just kind of go to the Grey Eagle out there. Now, this concert has been sold out for a hot minute now, and they keep releasing more and more tickets. A lot of the times, Korn is not a smaller metal band by any means, but a lot of the times, like say if it's a big arena like that where you got the lower bowl and then an upper bowl, and then in Calgary they've even got a third half tiers up above that. And like some lower tier bands, they will only sell tickets for the lower bowl because there's no point in fucking having everything going on up at the top if you're not going to be able to sell stuff. And they actually up in that third tier, which is like the poverty. They say PL, and I think it's poverty level tickets is what that stands for. And I was fine with that because Korn is one of those bands where back in high school they were the shit. They changed music for me. The song Twist and just the way Jonathan Davis, like I'd never fucking heard anything like that before. It still haven't really. A lot of people have done their own versions and different roughnesses and barks and growls with their voices, but nothing, anything kind of like him. This and then, towards the end of high school, my musical taste evolved and outgrew them and never really went back there. But so when I see the price of these tickets going up, I'm like, fuck, I can't pay that. That's just hard to justify. I'm sure it'll be a great show and all that. And I was looking there a couple of weeks ago, and they released the poverty level tickets, and you're way up there, and you're gonna be. And so we get in there, and like, have you ever been in like a hockey arena and you look way up in the fucking sky, way up there, and you see the catwalks that people got to walk for, like the lighting rigging and stuff like that, like way up in the fucking roof? Okay, we were level with the catwalks, our seats. We were fucking level with that shit. And the very side stage, we're right beside the stage where you actually have the big cables that are fucking the running the electrical for all the lighting and stuff on the stage that's rigged up ahead. The big fucking fat clumps like that, and you can't hurt a bit of a time seeing through that. And to be honest, I couldn't have fucking cared less. We had a great time. The tickets were very affordable especially as far as concerts go these days, with them getting more and more ridiculously out of price. So that was the thing. Like I was like, it's not always about getting the best seats in the house. If sometimes you're just happy to be there for the show, to share the moment with my daughter, which is what we're there for. It's what we did and had an amazing. Looking for my tips, can't find. Struggle is real. There we go. Um, and yeah, no, it was a great time just being way the fuck up in there. And we ended up actually like not even sitting in our seats like a lot of the people there, because there's like fuck maybe a few hundred people up there. This poor lowly people up there. But like a lot of us weren't even like, we're up in the walkways that you got to take to get to your seats. We're up standing up in behind there. You have people fucking dancing and just having a great time and carrying on. I'm not gonna say that we were having as much fun as the people in the pit down below, where all the energy is, but there was like pretty much no fucks given. It was just a lot of people that were really happy to be there watching a show that we don't care what our seats look like. It was just really cool. Um, One of the few shows that we've gone to where my daughter actually knows a bunch of the songs beforehand, because while I don't listen to very much Corn myself, her older brother does, and he listens to a lot of Corn. And there's actually a few times where she was talking, I can't wait to go home and show my bubby these videos and make him jealous, because she's sitting there with her phone filming up and all that stuff, having a good time. So that was cool to be able to share that with her, because a lot of times you take her to shows, and more often than not, you're lucky if she knows more than maybe one or two songs we're about to see. She kind of gets into some of the stuff a little bit more after. I think the exception to that was like Katy Perry, where she every band there, every song that they were playing, every band there, every song they were playing. But that's her thing, right? And but anyway, so as I was saying earlier, we drove down for that, and when I left, I wasn't even sure if I had to work today or not. Just kind of I ended up taking all last week off work, dealing with some issues, and so tomorrow is Native Reconciliation Day, and which is a stat that most people in the country don't get it. It's where most Native people I know, they have to work Native Reconciliation Day, but because I can get lumped in with the government employees, we get that day off. Now the stat is tomorrow on the Tuesday, but what we will often do is we will take today off in lieu of the stat and work Tuesday, because honestly, you show up to work on a Monday. Who the hell wants to show up on a Monday, right? Nobody. Mondays fucking suck. So you show up on a Monday, you take Tuesday off, and now Wednesday, hump day, becomes Monday again. You get 2 Mondays in the same week. That sucks. So we'll usually switch it up like that. And I was kind of running with that, like hoping like Oh, dude, we had a great time, Jay. And it's like it's funny because our ticket or our seats, I mean, where we were hanging out, like the videos you sent me, it looked like we had more or less the same view. I think we were probably just higher up in the air. Like I said, we were up in the fucking rafters, and it was. Like I said, man, it was a cool experience. I wasn't honestly my thoughts on it. So Corn, it was their fucking set list that did it. And they played a bunch of shit that I back in my day when I listened to them, a lot of these songs were kind of actually what put me off of them. But when you get older, my thing has become more of this. It's about the songs you know being played live more than anything. Like when we took Abigail to go see Katy Perry, that was not my fucking show. I do not listen. I don't have a single Katy Perry song on any of my playlists. I do not know her music, but I hear my daughter listening to her music. I'm not completely oblivious to this. And the songs that I did know of hers, I had a fucking great time. So it was the same kind of thing with Corn. Twisted Transistor. I fucking could not have cared less about that song when it was released. You think I wasn't singing along with that? You know, it just all fuck man, it was great. So sorry, I'm on the phone, so buttons are a little bit harder to reach. So my thought is on this now. Korn did have some cool lighting and stuff like that, but their stage show itself, their stage presence, in my opinion, was not great. There was nothing special about it. It was, but their set list that did it. Like I think before yesterday, I think there's 3 songs on that set list that I didn't know, and the song "Cold" because I had listened to. We're fucking driving 10 hours, man. We've got time to listen to Korn on Spotify, and believe me, we did. And so you're hearing a bunch of these new songs, and they're okay, nothing special. But the song "Cold," I was actually ripping that hard. That song's fucking heavy. That's heavier. That's one of their heavier songs, period, in my opinion. I had no idea when it was released. Long after I stopped listening to them, and but that'll get thrown on a playlist here whenever I get around to updating playlists and stuff. It was for a great time. Now, what I thought was funny was Gojira. Their fucking stage set was fucking amazing. Their production was just like so much pyro and like LED screens and the lighting and all that. Like, they were badass. My thing with Gojira is I can't tell most of their songs apart. Like, they're fucking heavy. They got wicked rhythms and they're fun to listen to, but I can't tell most of their stuff apart. I'm not trying to take a shot at them. That is just me personally. Like, they fucking rip. Like, their song Explosia, to me, I can tell that song apart from all their others. I'll just put it that. I love it. And I was sitting there talking to, as you talk about after show stuff with the kid before she probably fell asleep once we got back to the car. It was, like, what did you like? What didn't you like? And all that stuff. And, it's funny, like, we were both kind of saying, like, if you could have took the Korn's set list and added that to, like, the Gojira production kind of thing, how cool that would have been. And then the other funny kind of thing was the opening band. Jay warned me about this. The opening band, Loathe, they're pretty terrible, to be honest. Like, I think we got about 4 songs in. Like they come out, and the first 2 songs I think were fucking pretty heavy, and I'm like, damn, I don't know what Jay was talking about. Like, these guys are pretty not bad, but then the guy kind of starts singing like as if, like, have you guys ever heard like a fucking tomcat with its nuts caught in a vice and then trying to sing? That's kind of what Homeboy sounded like a little bit, but like a little bit of heavier rhythms and shit behind it. And me and the kid were just like, "Oh my god, let's go walk around the main concourse," which is something that we've never done, I don't think, at a big show like this. And we're like, and at this point, I'm dehydrated. I need water. So I'd rather get the beat the mass rush in between sets because everyone tries to get their shit before the Gojira starts. And we get some cotton candy. And so we're hanging out in the main concourse, completely ignoring the opening band, just fucking eating cotton candy. It was great. Having a great time. I love that my daughter's getting old enough to be a little bit of a human being nowadays, and you can have conversations and hear about thoughts and opinions and stuff like that. Um, yeah, 3D nugs, something along those lines. Like, I know, I'm just like, oh, uh, yeah. Oh, so good, John. To speaking of bagpipes, so Korn does the song "Shoots and Ladders." Of fucking course, they were gonna put that in the live set. The cool shit though is they come out and they do the fucking the big section of one there. The fucking agonize this, agonize that. Again, it was fucking amazing, and it wasn't. I must have seen a video of it recently because for some reason, I wasn't like, oh my god, they're doing this. Must have been expecting it or known about it somehow. Because usually when artists start doing shit like that, that's where I'd be go like all fucking fangirl. It's, oh my god, like well, we saw Cypress Hill recently, Ashley and I. When they started doing Bomb Track by Rage Against the Machine, just like Dangerous Times calls for dangerous music, and he jumps into it. And they didn't even just do like one verse; they did the whole fucking song. Even at the end of it, where Zach De La Roca is just like, Be Real even did that shit. I was just like, this is fucking awesome. Losing my mind. Um, and then, but the cool part is during one of the songs, it might have been Undone, Coming Undone. They break into "We Will Rock You." Now that might be Abigail's all-time favorite rock song, arguably. It's an easy one to latch onto, especially when you're a kid. You know everybody can make that friggin' stomp and a clap, right? And then the we will. Like, it's anthemic. Everybody knows it. So when kid sees fucking Corn bounce into that, uh, she even said it was like one of her favorite moments of the night. So yeah, I just love it. But we bounce on out of there, and we got back. So we left at 3:30 yesterday morning. We got back at about 6:15 this morning. I don't know how the fuck we managed to pull that one off. Maybe because I didn't eat the whole way back, and it was just like coffee, and so there's nothing to soak up the caffeine or whatever. But I didn't even struggle. Have a great night, Sniff. Hope you're doing well, brother. Um, but it was crazy because every other time we've come back this way from Calgary at night and do car camping, which we were totally set up to do. The back seats are folded down, foamies down, blankets are there. Like, we can go to sleep anytime we need to. But we get back about, I don't know, maybe fucking 2/3 of the way back, and just you're tired, so we're to sleep. We're not gonna fucking get in a crash and kill ourselves because we're driving too tired. That's just fucking stupid. Uh Sleep over when it makes sense. And it never made sense at any point in time. And it was like every time that I was starting to think that, okay, maybe it's time to start thinking about looking for a place to pull over, and I'll give it a few minutes, or I'd like fire up another coffee or whatever, and we'd be good to go. Because like when I go traveling, like I'll leave the house with like my thermos full of coffee, two travel mugs full of coffee, and then I'll usually have like my Lucky Aerosmith that I bring everywhere for, and that'll be full of coffee as well. So I'll try and leave the thermos for when we come back, so that way, no matter what, where we are or anything, we can just bounce the fuck out, and I've got coffee to get me going for the ride home. And then we'll find a place to buy more coffee and fill up the travel mugs and shit like that. So with the kid being fucking out cold and not taking up any cup holders within the car, dude, I had coffee everywhere. It was amazing. I had like my thermos that was already full, but was like, and then I had like travel mug in the door. I had my Lucky Aerosmith in my hand, which could get placed in the dash if need be. And then my cup holders that are right here by the center console area. There's two in there, and it was just like, oh, I was great. Yeah, love me coffee. What can I say? What can I say? uh, Dude, That's like, I don't fucking sleep though. That is my thing. Like, what I need to do is get back to turning those sleepless hours into productive hours. Right? Like, yeah, I can do driving and stuff like that, which is great. It makes things a lot easier, a lot more affordable when you don't have to worry about like hotel rooms and shit like that. But you got to, yeah, I forget where I was going. I tried reading what Fluff just put in the chat, and there's a dollar sign thing. Because every time I'm on my phone, StreamYard tries to get me to pimp you guys out for fucking money. And says, oh, get them to click this link and join StreamYard, and we'll give you money. And I can need somebody to text something in there so I can see what Fluff said, because I got half of it. Like, you got the glass in that. Oh, got glass in the joint? Is that what you're asking? Yeah, okay, now that I think about what you're saying, yeah, dude. So, okay, actually, here's an observation, and this is, I'm trying to think if it's like a placebo effect or if it is legit. Oftentimes we roll a joint and doing taste testing. We did a lot of it at booth camp, and when you're before you light a joint, you kind of get a bit of the terpene taste out of it, and when you do that, I find you seem to maybe get more of a terpene flavory taste out of it. And when you light it and smoke it, it seems to be more flavorful, at least at first. Um, Now I need to do further research, of course, to see if I'm full on glue or not. But honestly, yeah, I do like it. It's fun. It is kind of bougie, but it also gives you a better draw off of it as well than just like the open of having just a crutch in there. Now, there was the other day where, so we bought 5 of these things and got them kicking around. I think we've already lost 2. I was talking about it with Ash the other day, and we don't know where fucking at least 2 of them are, it seems. And when I was downstairs, it was like I had a pack of the paper ones, cardboard ones, or whatever downstairs, and I was like, "Fuck it, I don't need to go upstairs and find the glass ones." It was like one of those. So on that account, I could see them possibly, if it wasn't worth my effort to walk upstairs and go and get them off the desk. Well, I think the old lady might have been sleeping at that point in time too, so I might have just been scared. Um, who knows? But yeah, I know they're fun, man. Like they're nice. They are nice. I don't know. Will they stay or stick around? I guess time will tell. Could be like a lot of things, dude. Fucking, I think the funny thing is, Jay, like she bought 5 of them. I dumped them on the desk. I specifically remember that. I think I did drop 2 or 3 of them when I did that, but I picked them all up and they were on the desk. And 2 of them have just like disapproved fucking completely. I thought the old lady was just being smart and trying to hide 2 of them on me so that when I lose them all within the first 3 days, that hey, she'd be like, "Oh, here you go, sweetie, and here's 2." But apparently that's not the case. So she tells me. She's pretty sneaky though. So yeah. So here's my So I'm gonna. Oh, is that this scene? Everyone saying cheers to Mark's green thumb in there. Cheers, brother. I hope you're doing well. Great to see you, dude. Um, so my thoughts on this one, Fluff, because me and you've talked about this before. I don't know how long you've been here, so everybody that's got to hear this for like the 9th time, my apologies. And if you're hearing it for the 8th time yourself, well, should have let me know you were here sooner. So Corn, yeah, I don't listen to their music, and they get skipped oftentimes when they come up on. They are on a bunch of my playlists, and they are one of the most skipped bands on those playlists. I figured, and was even thinking about removing them. They played for about an hour and a half, and they were fucking good, dude. Their set list was better than their stage show, in my opinion. And when I sit back here and think, because as I was saying earlier, it's about the songs. It's not necessarily You know, like when you hear cheesy songs that you didn't really fucking care about, and you go and see someone do those live, those are the fucking like those are the ones you rock the hardest out to, singing every fucking word to you. All these songs that you didn't like in high school, or you didn't like in high school because it wasn't fucking cool. Somehow you know every fucking word to now that we're in our 40s. You know, didn't like. Um, you know, they're fuck man. It was good. It was good. Anyways, I feel like they between those the songs they did play, and then a lot of the songs that I actually do prefer off of a few of their albums, they probably could do another hour and a half long set, not hear the same song twice, and it would have been good. Honestly, like they were, yeah, man, they jammed. Now I would, and yeah, I would go see him again, especially that price level. Like I said, for the price of the tickets that we paid, which was dirt fucking cheap. Yesterday, when they were trying to re-release more tickets to let as many people in as humanly possible, they were releasing tickets behind the stage, straight from Ticketmaster, not resale or nothing, for $180 a pop behind the stage. Like holy shit! And we're way up here in the fucking catwalks, pretty much. I think I paid like $60 a pop, and I with the obscene price of tickets these days, and the Ticketmaster CEO they're going to ramp that shit up because he says tickets can actually go up in prices, in his opinion. Which that's probably where I stopped going to more concerts, is you're just making it achievable. But for $60 for me and my kid can go and check out one of the biggest metal bands out there right now. I don't care about where it's at. Like I said, it was and in the fuck, we're just there rocking out, dancing in the fucking walkways. Because there's not like a lot of people up there, so you have a lot of people just standing in the walkway that run in behind the seats, right? That get you down to your aisles. People up there just dancing and rocking out. It was a killer vibe, dude. I'd go do it again. Now, my poor garden, it suffered a bit. Might as well talk a little bit of garden stuff here. I have a golden goat. That most of my shit's feeling fine, and I do have thrips in my one bloom tent. I did was just looking. Haven't seen the sign. I have them in other places, so I know damn well they're there, kind of thing. And I can't spray in that tent because those plants that I'm talking of right now, that I spot thrips on, are about 6 weeks in. So if I'm lucky, it might be done in close to 2 weeks, but I don't believe that. I think I've got about 4 more weeks to go before I can do that. And another point. Oh, yeah. But anyways, a golden goat. It's big. This plant's at this point like 2 feet tall in a 1 gallon pot and needs a transplant. And I keep meaning to get around to that gosh darn transplant. And I come home and I go and look in there today, and it's like like it's completely wilted the fuck over. So I had to give it an emergency ration of nutrients. And I don't think it was too far gone to that it can't come back. If I go and look at it now, it'll probably be maybe not back to normal, but better than it was. Hopefully, I remember one time. This is years ago, back like in the for probably within like my first year of growing. Still, we'd made a little grow room in the shed outside, just enough for, I think the most I ever had there was 2 HPS lights going on, and and not very bad ventilation. I don't even think I had any in there. If I'm trying to think back, maybe I might not have even had ventilation. No, I probably did. Oh shit, my computer's doing weird stuff now. I'm confused. Just gonna stop looking at that. And I remember coming home from work, and the ex-wife was supposed to do the watering. Now, if I went away to work for a 10-day shift, I was lucky if I could get her to water once, kind of thing. And she'd go, "I'm out there every day," and like you come home and I'm like, no, that's not fucking possible. Plants that small, this like or that, at that stage of growth, like when you're a gardener, you can tell. Let's just leave it at that. And one day, I remember coming home and this fucking, I think it was a super silver haze. It was just like, it was done to the point of the leaves even looked crispy-ish. And I was just like, what the fuck? And I go in there like a fucking raging asshole and fucking yelling and whatnot, like killing the fucking guard and all that fucking bullshit. But it's probably way off fucking why I end up being way off fucking ground base there. Because I go out there, like I give it an emergency dash of water, hoping I can maybe recover it. I go out there a couple hours later to go and clean up the fucking mess, and I got to cut this thing out, shall I? And it wasn't full recovery, but it was like, wow, that's like it's not dead. And then you had to go do the fucking sheepish head down. I'm sorry. I what I now looking back on that now with the hindsight's 2020 and how I feel about that person now, I should have just fucking told her I had to cut the fucking plant down and fucking just left it at that. Oh, look what you did. And because, like I said, she didn't fucking go in the water anyway, so she wouldn't have fucking known, right? Huh? 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 Nah, it was not that time. Honestly, though, that I was in the wrong. I was that was a particularly lose my shit kind of moment, and like I said, it turned out to be completely fucking unwarranted because that plant made a real quick recovery. I can't remember if it was. I feel like it was veg. I feel like it was still like just a massive veg plant that just had fucking thought kicked the bucket on me, and turned out I didn't. So, like I said, I was an asshole. I was wrong, and I admitted it. Fucking sucks having to do that, though, doesn't it? But let's face it, it's the right thing to do. Cheers, Julio. Hope you're doing well. So we got it going on here. All right, man's in there. Cheers, brother. Hope you're doing well. Hell yeah. Fuck off, 2 cents. That's who I was looking for right there. I just want to tell 2 cents to go fuck himself. Cheers, Tom. How are you doing, my man? Hope you're doing well. So, mm, so me and the kid, like I said, we just went and had this amazing road trip. 26, I think we can call it 26 and a half hours. Might have been a little bit closer to 27-ish, but let's say you call it 26 and a half hours just for the sake of being a badass. To Calgary and back. Watched a concert in between in 26 and a half hours. Wow. And when I called into like, I come in, we got walk in the door. I go to try and crawl in bed and fall asleep, and I think I scared the shit out of the old lady. She wasn't expecting that. Like it was, like I said, I was even prepared to just like put my head down. Like, there's blankets in the car, so getting comfy when we're, but just a quick like on the steering wheel for until I wake up and just fucking turn the car and drive if I had to. But it just, like I said, I wasn't ever got tired enough that I felt I needed to pull over and sleep, which is crazy. I've never like that's we did it that was an 8 hour drive to get back. It was 8 hours back. We made fucking great time. That's one of the reasons I really like driving at night whenever I can. I've got good vision. I throw the glasses on just because it helps keep my eyes from getting really tired and shit like that, I find. But the roads are fucking empty. You got less people around. You can usually do a little bit faster because you got less people around, less cops, especially fucking in BC where everything is so fucking rural. You don't speed in around the towns and shit like that. But once you're out on the highway, way the fuck out there, giddy up. And I'm not even talking crazy speeding either. Like because if I do get pulled over, I'm at the point where I can still lose my license because I fall under a graduated licensing system, and I ain't looking to lose my driver's license. So I'm like 15 over, maybe 20. Like you don't see me doing fucking way the fuck over the speed limit, even during the daylight and stuff like that. Like I'm like maybe hit 10 over the speed limit and then hit the cruise control kind of shit. I love cruise control. I know a lot of people that like bitch and whine about getting speeding tickets and shit like that. It's like, well, why don't you use the fucking cruise control, dude? That's why I use it. I learned to drive illegally. I taught myself. I didn't start driving until 30, turning 31, 29, turning 30. But right in around there somewhere. I walked and hitchhiked everywhere I went up until that point. Um, a million excuses could be made, but excuses are for fucking losers. At the end of the day, and it was my choices in life that led me to not do it. And then eventually, I just like woke up, and it's actually kind of weird, dude. It was the day my grandfather died. The last of my grandparents. Don't have any more of them left. God rest their souls, all of them. I love you guys. But it was and I'm not even sure if I knew it that day. Yeah, I might not have found out until after work because this is still back in those days where I might not pack myself. I don't recall, but it's just that day I go in and finance a car. I think it was a 2008 Ford Fusion. Um, and it was just like, you know what? It's time to, but this was, I sobered up and quit drinking about a month after that. It might have even been a month to the day, if I recall. So I was already kind of heading on that trajectory where I was paying off a bunch of past debt stuff that I'd walked out on, and just doing a growing up. And I was like, you know what? If nobody's going to teach me how to drive and how to do this stuff, I'll just fucking do it myself. And that is the biggest fucking thing in my life. Is just learning to figure out and do shit for yourself. My my parents were good in that I never went hungry. I grew up in the days where if you didn't fucking like what was for supper, you can go to bed without fucking eating because there was not going to be a second meal prepared, and that did happen very rarely. And yeah, I got whooped and shit like that, and I almost always deserved it. A few times where I didn't, but as my dad once put it, well, you lie so much, I don't know when I fucking can believe it when I can't. So there's a couple on like that. Um, where was I going with that? All of a sudden, we're on fucking getting your ass whooped by your fucking parents. So yeah, but they they never did shit like take you out, teach you how to drive, all that stuff. As soon as kids fucking turn 16, my parents were like, "Well, your grades, or you're not getting like a fucking B average on your report card, so no, we're not taking you in to get your learner's license and your driver's license." Shit, I wasn't a fucking B grade quality student. The fuck you talking about? I was like in grade 8. The only class I passed was grade 8 science because you had this fucking ADHD, undiagnosed ADHD mind, fuck just pinging in. I am not suitable for classroom studies for an all day fucking period, right? And so what I'm feeling, just stuff like that. But so not having a driver's license, not for you got to figure out how to get to work and how to all that shit. You got to figure out how to rely on yourself, and that's where I was trying to go. That's one thing that my parents did teach me there. I don't know if it's inability or unwillingness, maybe both, to do shit and basically wipe my ass and get me through life. It taught me, well, you got to do shit for yourself. And I think, it's good for them. Look what you did. You made a strong, independent son that up until got through the divorce process and I had to borrow a bit of money off them for lawyers' fees and stuff like that after cashing out my pension, to pay for lawyers and stuff. It was the only time I ever had to borrow money off my parents. And up till that point, I said with pride, I never had to borrow money off my parents for nothing. Everything, all my successes in life and all my failures in life have been my own doing. And whereas my brother and two sisters, fuck, my parents bought them cars, nothing not shiny and new, like old used up beaters and stuff. But they're buying them cars when they don't have vehicles. They saved my brother's mortgage fucking more times than I can count. It seemed like it was almost a yearly thing where my brothers and his old lady would come up to my parents, "Oh, we're about to have our house taken away from us. Can we borrow some money?" Just never had to do that. And when I did, it was, my dad was actually having a conversation with him like a couple months after the fact that he was kind of, I don't think relieved was the right word. When I think he was just happy that they were there in that position to be able to do it. Not that they wanted to have to owe me or lend me money or anything like that. It was just like, there it is. Finally, all the chickens come home to roost, and that is getting paid back. It's I don't I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't and I don't want that to my parents. I don't want to, I owe them so much already. Like I said, they've turned me into the man I am today. I certainly am not without my issues. But I think I'm a pretty damn good person when it actually comes down to it. So that's them. Good times. I can light this joint back up. Do I have banners in here? How long have we been going? Fuck, I've been prattling on here for 40 minutes. That's not bad. So, my main reason for doing this is we didn't do much of a show yesterday. I was traveling on my way to Calgary. G-Bay was traveling to go hang out with Magpie. And Fluff what did you see him? He looked like he'd been shot at, missed, shit at, hit. So he was recovering. So it's just a bit of it wasn't a great day for doing a show. So I want to kind of get on here and do that. I don't like it when we got to take the mulligan on shows. Doesn't sit right. Taking the week off for booth camp there, it was weird, but at the same time, it was nice to not have to worry about doing shows. There's a lot of times where I'll come home after work and it's like you've been busy with the day and all of a sudden the show's in an hour and you've just completely holy shit, man. And then you're rushing to hurry up, so whatever it is you're doing and get on to the show. And plus, I just had a cool experience with my kid. And I like to talk about having cool experiences, period. When you do them with your kid, it's even better. So honestly, I got a thing where arena shows, if you're in the stands, not great. Like some of them are definitely better than others, but it's like when you're sitting like that, scrunched in with somebody fucking right there, that's the freedom of movement is better. The Prospera place in Kelowna, BC, might very well be my least favorite arena for checking shows out in. I don't like it. If I can't be on the floor or moving around, it's almost, depending on the show, it might not even be worth going. Just because you're how scrunched in you are. And if it's a seated show on the floor, that's even worse because not only are the seats narrow where they got them all sitting in the road chairs like that, but the seat bottoms don't fold up. So you've basically got like your body width fucking standing there like that. When we went and saw Tool, it was absolute fucking hell. Because there's no room to move or try and dance or relax. And when your back starts to fucking give out and all you can do is just stand there like that, you try and sit, but then you got to stare at some dude right in front of you staring at his ass, hoping like hell he doesn't fucking let one rip in your face, and missing the show because you can't see the fucking stage, right? So that one sucks. Is it Rogers Place in Edmonton where the Oilers play, the hockey team? That would be up there. It might even be worse. The seating is fucked. It's way fucking narrow, tight, and penned in. And then the access egress is terrible. Fucking terrible. But I do like how the entrance is in like a big mall kind of area where you don't have to wait outside in the cold or the rain or anything. You go inside to wait. Which was kind of cool. So we get points for that. And then, like the Saddle Dome, though, I'd never been there. That place is great. Access was great. Egress was fucking even better, even from where we were, because we got our own separate staircases that go down. We were out to the parking lot. That's probably about an 18 to 20,000 capacity place, and I thought it was sold out, and we were fucking out of there quick. That was actually one of the reasons why I think me wonder if we were able to get back is because we'll try and leave and get out as quick as we can. Usually you got to wait and fight traffic, and we were able to just get the fuck out because we were parked at the Calgary Stampede parking lot, not necessarily the parkades. It takes some alternate route. And then we start looking for like McDonald's and shit because I'm gonna need more coffee. We're gonna need food and stuff to get us going for the ride home. And I don't like stopping at anything anywhere near these venues because they're usually flooded, and a lot of times you're looking at like a 45-minute wait. So it's like you get like an hour out, and then you're usually pretty good. But like just down the street, almost there was like a McDonald's there, and we fucking get in and out of there. The longest part of that was just waiting on the food, which is 3 4 minutes. The coffee was weak but decent enough, better than I've typically been getting from fast food coffee lately. So that was a plus there. And then I thought I was maybe gonna get fucking carjacked for a second there. I think I just misheard the guy as we're pulling out of the McDonald's, turn left to get out to the intersection and back on the fucking road. There's some fucking dude standing there and he's waving us out. And I'm like, okay, not paying attention. Then he starts trying to talk to us, and I was like, rolled down my daughter's window a bit to say, huh? And before I know it, he's around the back of my car, and I thought he was saying, get out of the car. But now I don't have guns and shit like that. Not allowed to carry anything like that. But I do got like a handsaw, a silky handsaw. Any fucking tree guys fucking know the worst fucking cuts most of them have had are with these silky handsaws. They're fucking brutal. And I keep one there, not really self defense so much, although it's nice to have as an option, but just I'm a tree guy and I cut shit sometimes. And I got like, I need to fucking, and he ended up saying something about, I guess I got a tail light that I've actually I've known about that for a little bit now. I've just been trying to delay getting it fixed up. And he starts talking about that. And I'm just like, get the fuck out of there. Didn't even let him finish because he could, yeah, he like, fuck, man. It sounded like he said, get out of the car. And I'm like, fucking lock. Like, you ain't getting in here, bud. Like, oh, that was fucking weird. Um, like I said, I wasn't fucking gonna give him time to finish what he was saying after. Because if he did say what I thought he was gonna say, then it was only gonna get worse from there. Although he did, I remember as I was stepping on the gas, he did say he wasn't on drugs or anything. Now that I think about that, that was a fucking weird encounter at like 11 o'clock at night, fucking downtown Calgary. God damn. That was fucked up. Yeah, pretty much, Tom. Fuck just $18 all over again. I'm not sure what that was even about. I'm confused. Fuck, 23 of y'all jumped in here, eh? Cheers. Yeah, fuck, I still got like an hour before I go pick my old lady up. Haven't even thought about dinner today, so I imagine you just heard me bitching about fast food. It's gonna be stuff like that easy for dinner tonight. It's just, man, I come home and I slept for about 5 hours after all that. Again, I hopped pretty much straight into bed and woke up at about 11:30. Got in bed at I got home about 6:15. Probably in bed by 6:30. And sleeping quick. It did not take me long, and I remember tossing and turning for about maybe 2 or 3 minutes, thinking, "Fuck, I'm gonna have to get up and go and do something because my mind's just not gonna turn off that easy." And then all of a sudden, it's like 11:30. My old lady's gone. I'd been at work for a couple hours at this point. She was in bed when I fell asleep. Fucking no. Got up, get dressed, all that stuff, and I was fucking out. Cheers, Jeff. Hope you're doing well. I'm smoking on a little bit of Grapple Cat here myself. First joint of the day. First joint of the day, guys. And it's 5:16 at my time right now. Now, there might have been joints on the way back. Oh, this is So my amazing old lady, she made up a whole bunch of pre-rolls for the trip. And I took a couple extra nugs with me just as emergency weed, just in case I run out of pre-rolls, because that happens sometimes. And we got to the venue, and I rolled 2 joints out of that. And when I got home, or actually when I got back this morning, took my daughter home today after we got back, I go to grab a few things out of center console. I'd smoked all the joints without even realizing it. I'd tell you, timed it just perfect. I had them sitting in a jar like that, and whenever you needed one, it was just kind of like reach in there and unscrew it and just grab one, and just in the mouth, and not really fumbling much. Apparently, so how fucking slick was that? So shout out to my old lady on keeping me lifted for that one. Now let's talk fucking ridiculous merch prices. So the going rate for concert prices t-shirts, at least in Canada, because they've got the American exchange we got to worry about when I talk on this stuff now, seems to be about $60. Has been for a few years. I think we went to Alice Cooper and got shirts for 50 when Ashley and I, and it had been 50 for a couple years before that, and up to that one point it was 40. Going back through my recollections for quite a while. We go to the Who. They were charging $70 a t-shirt, and their t-shirts were fucking. There was not a fucking chance I'd pay $70 for any of that shit. They're freaking like, no, just not doing it. And we go to System of a Down, same thing. Their t-shirts, they're charging $70 for that. But when you pay with your card, because it's all fucking cardless banking and shit like that in there or whatever, Cash's Venue, it's called, they actually take another $10 off that. So a $70 t-shirt is now an $80 t-shirt. Oh, what the fuck? And then we get home from System of a Down, and I start seeing these ads popping up on Instagram for what appears to be the exact same fucking t-shirts that I just saw at the fucking venue that we're at the show we're at. For now, you can get them for like $30 or $40. Okay. So I was like, well, fuck it, let's check this out. So I actually got a really cool System of a Down hoodie, pink hoodie, and it's got them as cartoon characters on the back of it. I was like, you know what, I'll get her that in a t-shirt. Get the other daughters each a t-shirt of that as well. I already got a System of a Down t-shirt. I don't need to do one. And they come in, and they're like a plastic. It's not cotton. It's more like a plasticky, like a polyester kind of, almost like a thin jersey material, almost maybe. And so I'm like, okay, maybe these aren't actually official. And like, I'm like, fuck, I don't fucking care at this point. Where the artists now, their justification once touring and stuff's all fired up after COVID was that they didn't want their a lot of these venues are doing the selling of they're taking a percentage of merch cuts, like 30% merch cuts. And now we're basically traveling t-shirt salesmen because of things like Spotify, which is actually kind of fucking true when you put it that way. But man, and then furthermore, actually, Jake actually mentioned this. Like, I got my kid a hoodie, which I don't even want to talk about what that cost. It could have makes me want to fucking puke. But since I wasn't fucking interested in any of the merch they had there, I was okay. I guess look, you got a little extra money, we'll get you a hoodie. It's pretty cool hoodie she got, I guess. But like when your merch fucking sucks, and I'm charging like at least the corn t-shirt, the t-shirts for just a plain t-shirt was $65. And they were fucking kind of all dumb looking. Gojira had one t-shirt that was kind of okay looking, but I don't like them enough to have to want to wear one of their shirts. Honestly, like I said, they're a cool band. I I don't ever search them out, but I don't ever really turn them off either when they come across. Right? They got, like I said, they got that one song that I really absolutely love, and they're just good background music, in my opinion. I didn't need another. Man, when you actually, that's like almost all concert t-shirts. That's my half of the closet right there. Um, that front one, red and orange one, that's Cypress Hill. That back one is my Ninja Turtle Christmas shirt. So it's like not a concert shirt. All my shit is to the point where like I don't need shirts for like the next 10 years. Is what I'm saying. So it's a good time to stop buying fucking concert merch. But like, at what at what point do the people actually say no? Put their foot down and say no. I'm not going to pay $80 for a fucking t-shirt. Because that's just obscene, especially in a world where people are getting closer and closer to insolvency and food banks and stuff like that because the prices go up and the wages don't. And even when they do put the wages up, that just drives the prices up even further. So it's like, how the fuck do you win? Um, it's nuts. And then, like we were talking earlier, the CEO of Ticketmaster has been saying in the last week that tickets for concerts should be more expensive. Really? Like, I don't know. So when do people just stop? Like, it would be that's where we need their true rebellion right there. Is people just to be like, you know what? No, we're just gonna stop going to shows. But I guess it's the thing. There'll always be the fucking the people that are a little bit wealthier that can do that shit, fill that vacuum in space, I guess. Yeah, we've got a couple shirts like that too, where they start coming off Huli right away. Yeah, but not any of the good tours though. It's always stuff where you're uh, like don't really care about. And I guess I'm probably like the worst offender for not fighting back against that shit. But it's honestly though, I find there's times where I've paid more than I typically would for certain shows if it's a band I feel I really need to see. But like I said, we didn't pay very much for those corn tickets, and going in knowing the seats weren't great. And I just had a perfectly great time standing there comfortably because I wasn't penned in or whatever. Because the shittiness of the area meant there wasn't a lot of people there, and we were able to stretch out and still just have a great time. We went and saw Pantera about a month ago. Uh, and we were fucking way at the fucking back of an amphitheater and just stretched out. We didn't pay much for those tickets either. I was like, holy shit. So maybe that's what it is. It's just stuff like outdoor venues that go for the pot. Because that's, like I said, on the tickets for corn, they said like, you're in the PL area, and I'm pretty sure that means poverty level. And I was happy with that. Fucking sometimes it's not about always about where you sit. It's just about going and seeing these amazing songs. But also fucking start supporting cover bands as well. That's another one you hear about good cover bands coming to your area. Go check that shit out. Like you want to go see, let's say ACDC. Here's a good band. How many millions of fucking ACDC cover bands are there out there? Of like, I could think of at least three that come through British Columbia fairly frequent. Um, to go see something like that now, you get go see that. You are very aware that you are not seeing Angus Young and you're not seeing Bon Scott or Brian Johnson, but you're seeing guys that absolutely love this music that they're playing, and they're trying to do it as faithfully as possible to that. And a lot of the times actually sound better doing it still than the guys that are 70 years old out there still doing it. Um, We don't have local breeds out here, Fluff, unfortunately, in this great expanse. Cover breeders, eh? Copycat, yeah. I've never run any of his stuff. I don't think I've ever even had his stuff passed through my way. I know a couple people that have run his stuff and say it's decent, but fuck, I can't believe I've been sitting here babbling for an hour now. It's not bad. Not bad. See, I just made up for that lost hour from yesterday, Fluff. I notice how you didn't come fucking join me though. You just sit there in live chat fucking laughing at me and be like, oh, look at that dumbass up there. That's all good. Running low on dabs. Did that mass fucking shatter purchase there back in like early July, I think it was. And we're down to the last couple of minutes. Wait for next go again. Oh. Here's the big one. Here's a big one. Oh, forgot. I didn't even mention this one yet, I don't think. Day after tomorrow, Mudvayne Static X. That's a big deal. Ah, no. We have. I think I can get to the dab frogs in here. I think we can actually launch. I don't like that it moves here. Whoa.